Let me tell you a marvelous thing. Your consciousness, your I amness, is the only reality. Everything that you perceive in your world, everything that you experience in your daily life, is but an expression of your consciousness made manifest. The art of mental discipline. Tonight I shall share with you how to master the divine art of mental discipline. For you see, your thoughts are not mere passive occurrences in your mind. They are living, breathing seeds that must inevitably grow into the circumstances of your life. Let us begin with a fundamental truth. Every moment of your life you are thinking. But are you thinking from the end? Are you thinking from the state of your wish fulfilled? This is the crux of mental discipline, the law of consciousness. I want you to understand this profound truth. Whatever you are conscious of being, you become. This is the law, and it cannot fail. If you persist in maintaining a particular state in your consciousness, it must externalize itself in your world. It must, for this is the law. Consider this. When you go to your bedroom tonight, you will naturally assume that you are in your bed. You don't hope you're in your bed. You don't wish you were in your bed. You simply are in your bed. This is the naturalness I speak of. This is the state of consciousness that creates the 4 pillars of mental discipline. Let me share with you what I call the 4 pillars of mental discipline. These are the fundamental principles that will allow you to master your thoughts and therefore master your life. First pillar, the state of I am. Your I am is your consciousness, your true self. Whatever follows your I am, you become. When you say I'm tired, you become tired. When you say I am wealthy, you become wealthy. The I am in you is God himself. And whatever you attach to it becomes your reality. Practice this throughout your day. Become aware of what you're attaching to your I am. Are you saying I am sick? I am broke? I am unlucky? Change these statements. Begin to attach to your I am only what you wish to be true. Second pillar, living from the end. This is crucial, my dear friends. You must learn to think and feel from the end. What do I mean by this? I mean, you must assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. If you desire wealth, you must think from wealth, not about wealth. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire to be a successful author. Don't think about becoming an author. Instead, assume the feeling of being a successful author now. How would you feel? What would you think? How would you walk? How would you talk? Assume that state now. Third pillar, the law of revision. Here is a wonderful technique I've used countless times. At the end of each day, before you sleep, revise the events that didn't go as you wished. See them play out exactly as you would have wanted them to occur. You see, memory is imagination. The past exists only in your mind, and you can revise it. By revising the day's events, you're actually restructuring your consciousness, which will then create new and better circumstances in your future. Fourth pillar, persistent assumption. Now let me share with you something profound about persistence. It's not enough to imagine your desire once or twice. You must persist in your assumption until it hardens into fact. Think of it like this. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, you tend to it, and you trust in the law of growth. The same is true with your thoughts. The practice of mental discipline. Let me now share with you the practical application of these principles. This is how you discipline your thoughts in your daily life. Morning practice. When you wake in the morning, before you rise from your bed, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the naturalness of having what you desire. Don't just visualize it, feel it. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the completeness of having your desire fulfilled. Daytime vigilance. Throughout your day, watch your mental diet. Your thoughts are like food for your consciousness. Would you eat spoiled food? Then why feed your mind with negative thoughts? When a negative thought arises, don't fight it. Simply replace it with its positive opposite. Remember, what you resist persists. What you accept and replace dissolves. Evening revision. Before sleep, review your day. But don't review it as it happened. Review it as you would have wanted it to happen. This is the art of revision, and it's one of the most powerful tools you possess. The power of feeling. Let me share something crucial about feeling. It's not enough to simply think the right thoughts, you must feel them to be true. The feeling is the secret. When you combine thought with feeling, you create with the full power of your consciousness. Feel the reality of your desire now. Feel its naturalness. Feel as though it were already accomplished. For in truth, in the realm of consciousness, it is already accomplished. Overcoming mental resistance. Now, you might experience resistance when you begin this practice. Your rational mind might say, this isn't true. This isn't real. But remember, your rational mind can only tell you what has been, not what can be. The secret is to persist despite the evidence of your senses. Your senses show you the world as it was created by your past thoughts. Your imagination shows you the world as it can be, created by your disciplined thoughts. The power of silent awareness. Here's a wonderful practice I want to share with you. Throughout your day, take moments of silent awareness. Become conscious of your I amness. Feel your existence, your beingness. From this state of pure awareness, you can more easily direct your thoughts. The art of mental construction. Think of your mind as a magnificent mansion. Each thought is a room in this mansion. Through mental discipline, you become the architect of this mansion. You decide which rooms to build, which to renovate, and which to demolish. When you catch yourself in a negative thought, say to yourself, this is not the room I choose to dwell in. Then consciously construct a new thought, a new room furnished with your desires fulfilled. The practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for mental discipline. When you feel grateful for something, you're acknowledging its reality in your consciousness. Practice feeling grateful for your desires as though they were already fulfilled. The law of assumption in action. Let me share with you a principle that never fails. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and then live and act from that assumption. This is the secret of mental discipline, to think, feel, and act from the end. If you desire wealth, assume the feeling of wealth now. How does a wealthy person think? How does a wealthy person feel? Assume that state and maintain it despite all evidence to the contrary. The power of your mental diet. Just as you carefully choose what food you eat, choose your thoughts with equal care. Your mental diet determines your life experience. Feed your mind with thoughts of success, love, abundance, and joy. When negative thoughts arise, and they will, don't fight them. Simply observe them and let them pass like clouds in the sky. Then consciously choose better thoughts. The practice of mental discipline. Throughout your day, practice these principles. Watch your I am statements. Think from the end. Revise unwanted events. Persist in your assumption. Maintain a healthy mental diet. Practice gratitude. Stay in silent awareness. Remember, your consciousness is the only reality. Everything in your world is a reflection of your consciousness. By disciplining your thoughts, you literally reshape your world. Concluding words. My dear friends, remember this. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness creates your reality. By disciplining your thoughts, you're not just changing your mind, you're changing your entire world. Practice these principles. Apply them diligently. For when you master the art of mental discipline, you master the art of living itself. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this principle perfectly. Recently, a lady came to me in despair about her financial situation. She had been thinking thoughts of lack, of poverty, of not enough. I asked her to do something that seemed radical at the time, to completely ignore the evidence of her senses and instead live in the assumption of wealth. The continuous state of awareness. You see, mental discipline isn't something you practice for an hour and then abandon. It must become your continuous state of awareness. When you wake in the morning, your first thought should be from the state of your wish fulfilled. When you walk down the street, walk as the person you wish to be. When you speak, speak from the consciousness of your desire achieved. The secret of mental persistence. Here's a wonderful secret. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what you're imagining and what's real. When you persist in maintaining a disciplined thought pattern, your subconscious mind must accept it as fact. And what the subconscious accepts, it must externalize in your world. The 3 states of thought. Consider these 3 states of thought. The surface thoughts. These are your casual, everyday thoughts that flow through your mind like leaves on a stream. The intermediate thoughts. These are your more deliberate thoughts, the ones you consciously choose to think. The deep, persistent thoughts. These are the thoughts that you have impressed upon your subconscious through repetition and feeling. Your work is to move your desired thoughts from the surface level to the deep level through conscious discipline and persistence. The art of mental rehearsal. Practice this technique. Before any important event in your life, rehearse it mentally from the end. See it completed perfectly. Feel the satisfaction of its perfect completion. Do this repeatedly until it feels natural and real to you. The power of I remember when. Here's another powerful technique for thought discipline. Instead of saying I want or I will, use the phrase one remember when. For example, instead of saying I want to be wealthy, say I remember when I was struggling financially before I became wealthy. This puts your mind in the position of looking back on the fulfillment of your desire, rather than looking forward to it. It's a subtle but powerful shift in consciousness. The silent knowing. Develop what I call the silent knowing. This is a state of absolute certainty about your desire's fulfillment. It's not hoping, not wishing, not wanting. It's knowing. This knowing comes from disciplined thought focused on the end result. The practice of mental cleansing. Just as you cleanse your body, you must cleanse your mind. Each night before sleep, review your thoughts of the day. Which ones serve your desired end? Which ones oppose it? Consciously release the opposing thoughts and strengthen the supporting ones. The law of dual thought. Remember this principle: you cannot hold 2 opposing thoughts simultaneously. When you find yourself thinking an unwanted thought, immediately replace it with its positive opposite. This is mental discipline in action, the final key. And now, my dear wonderful friends, let me give you the final key to mastering your thoughts. Is this: love your present reality while simultaneously dwelling in your desired state. This seems paradoxical, but it's crucial for successful mental discipline. Don't hate where you are while trying to get where you want to be. Instead, appreciate your current reality while knowing, absolutely knowing, that your desired state is already yours in consciousness. The promise. I promise you this: if you will discipline your thoughts as I have outlined tonight, if you will persist in maintaining the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, if you will live from the end rather than toward it, your world must conform to your disciplined imagination. For this is the law of consciousness: whatever you assume to be true, whatever you persist in believing, must become your reality. The daily application. My dear friends, before you leave tonight, let me share with you something profound about the daily application of these principles. You see, mental discipline is not merely a practice, it is a way of life. The morning protocol. When you awaken each morning, before you even open your eyes, lie still in your bed and practice this protocol. First, feel your I am-ness. Feel your existence, your beingness. This is God within you, the only creative power there is. Then, from this state of pure awareness, consciously choose the thoughts you will entertain for the day. Remember, the first hour of your morning shapes the nature of your entire day. Guard these precious moments with complete awareness, the state akin to sleep. There's something marvelous about the moments just before sleep and just after waking. In these drowsy states, your subconscious mind is most receptive to new impressions. Use these golden moments wisely. In this state akin to sleep, impress upon your mind the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. Feel it, live it, be it. Let this be the last state of consciousness you experience before sleep claims you. The secret of mental posture. Consider your mental posture throughout the day. Just as your physical posture affects how you feel and perform, your mental posture determines what you attract and create. Stand tall in your mind. Walk through your day from the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. speak, act, and respond to life from this elevated state of being. The art of mental forgetting. Here's a profound secret many miss. The art of mental discipline includes knowing what to forget. You must learn to forget the old story, the old limitations, the old excuses. When the old story tries to assert itself, and it will, gently but firmly dismiss it. Say to yourself, that was then. This is now. I choose to dwell in the consciousness of my wish fulfilled. The power of repeated assumption. Let me share with you something crucial about mental discipline. It's not enough to assume your desire once or twice. You must live in that assumption until it becomes your dominant feeling. Think of it like this. When you move to a new home, at first it feels strange, unfamiliar. But through continued living there, it becomes natural, familiar, yours. The same principle applies to your new mental state. The practice of mental fidelity. Be faithful to your disciplined thoughts as you would be faithful to a beloved spouse. Don't flirt with negative thoughts. Don't entertain doubts. Stay true to your chosen state of consciousness. Remember, what you are faithful to, you create. What you are loyal to in consciousness must manifest in your world. The law of mental equivalence. Understanding this law is crucial. For every outer condition, there must be an inner equivalent. Your external world is simply the reflection of your disciplined or undisciplined thoughts. Want to change your outer world? Change your inner equivalent through disciplined thought and feeling. The Sabbath of the mind. Practice what I call the Sabbath of the mind. Periods throughout your day when you completely rest from effort and simply dwell in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. These mental Sabbaths are crucial. They allow your new thoughts to take root and grow without the interference of doubt or anxiety. The power of mental conviction. Develop an unshakable conviction in the power of your disciplined thoughts. This conviction comes through practice and experience. Test these principles in small things first, then graduate to larger desires. Remember, the law works the same whether you're manifesting a parking space or a palace. The only difference is in your level of conviction. The art of mental acceptance. Accept, truly accept, that your consciousness is the only reality. Your world is simply consciousness objectified. Once you accept this truth, mental discipline becomes not just a practice, but a joyous responsibility. The final practice. And now, my dear friends, let me give you one final practice before we part. Tonight, when you lay your head upon your pillow, do this. Feel the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. Feel it with all your heart. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the satisfaction of having what you desire. Fall asleep in this feeling. For remember, the feeling is the secret. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of creation, the eternal truth. As we conclude this evening, remember this eternal truth. You are not seeking something outside yourself. You are simply selecting a state of consciousness to occupy. Through mental discipline, you choose which state you will dwell in. The promise renewed. I promise you this, practice these principles faithfully, maintain mental discipline consistently, and your world must by law conform to your disciplined imagination. For consciousness is the only reality, and your disciplined thoughts are the tools with which you shape that reality. The final word. Go forth tonight with this knowledge. You are not a helpless victim of your thoughts. You are the master of your mind, the author of your experience, the creator of your reality. Through disciplined thought, you can and will create the life you desire. Remember, your consciousness is God, and your disciplined imagination is your direct link to this infinite creative power. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it constantly. And now, as we conclude this evening, take a moment to feel the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. Feel it with all your heart. Know it with all your being. For in this feeling and knowing lies the power that transforms your world. Test this law. Prove it to yourself. For in the testing lies your freedom, and in the proving lies your power. Thank you, and good night.
You stand at the threshold of your own becoming. The world that surrounds you, with its limitations and appearances, is but the outpicturing of your inner state. What you accept as true within yourself becomes the frame upon which your life is built. Therefore, do not shrink into small thoughts or dwell in the shadow of doubt. Assume the stature of one who is building an empire, not in arrogance, but in divine certainty. Act as if what you desire is already yours, for you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are conscious of being. If you see yourself as one merely hoping, merely trying, then the world will reflect that unsettled ground. But if you walk as though the empire is already laid in stone, if you move through this day with the poise, the vision, the deliberate command of one who knows, then the unseen will arrange itself to fulfill that. Knowing, you must enter the state of the wish fulfilled. You must dwell there, not as a visitor, not as one passing through, but as a permanent resident. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, the tone in your voice, the atmosphere of your being, they must all come into harmony with the version of you who reigns in that empire. Not someday, now. Do not look to the facts around you, for facts are merely echoes of old beliefs. Look instead to the invisible cause within you. That is where the real building begins. That is where the blueprint is drawn, not with hands, but with assumption. You must feel it real. You must know that every great structure was once invisible, and it became visible only because someone dared to see it when no one else could. Speak as the emperor would speak. Move as the empress would move. Make decisions not as the person waiting to arrive, but as the one who has already arrived. You are not becoming, you are remembering. You are not hoping, you are assuming. And assumption, when persisted in, hardens into fact. This empire you are building is not merely of stone and title. It is an atmosphere, a consciousness, a dominion. It begins with your word and is sustained by your belief. When your inner speech aligns with your divine identity, then what you once called miracles will become your daily inheritance. The outer must bend to the inner. That is law. So carry yourself today as if the empire is already yours, not to impress the world, but to instruct it. You are the operant power, you are the cause. Assume your throne within, and the world will rise to meet your reign. You need not consult the opinions of others, for they see only with their natural eyes. They judge by appearances, but you are called to walk by vision, inner vision. Do not ask how or when. These are questions rooted in fear and separation. The one who builds an empire does not question the strength of the foundation once the cornerstone is laid. And the cornerstone, in your case, is assumption. Radical, unwavering assumption that what you claim in consciousness is already fact. Feel the texture of the life you have imagined. Do not think of it as a distant possibility. Think from it, feel from it, live from it. Imagine the conversations you would have if it were already so. Hear the sound of your voice as one who has conquered limitation. Taste the sweetness of fulfillment. Breathe in the certainty of your success. This is not fantasy. It is the only creative act there is. Everything else is the echo. The world will resist at first, not because it is against you, but because it is structured to reflect only what you've accepted as real. Change your acceptance and the world must follow. Persist in the unseen and the seen will yield. Many falter here because they return to the senses for validation. But the senses can only echo past belief. The moment you turn back to ask, is it working? You step out of the state. You must persist, as though it is already complete, even if the world remains silent. Silence is not absence, it is gestation. And in this holy silence, all things are preparing to reveal themselves. Do not disturb the process with doubt. Do not pluck the seed from the soil to see if it is growing. Remain, trust, know, act. You must train your mind to remain faithful to the new state. And this is done through the sacred practice of inner speech. Your inner conversations are the architects of your world. What are you saying to yourself? What are you entertaining in the secrecy of your own mind? If you wish to rule in the outer, you must first govern the inner. If your self-talk is still filled with lack, with confusion, with insecurity, then do not be surprised if your life echoes back the same tune. Change the tone, change the story. Speak within yourself as one who has already arrived. Walk in the room as though it belongs to you, not in ego but in knowing. You are not a beggar of destiny, you are the maker of it. You are not a servant of fate, you are its master. and all that you desire already exists in the invisible. You are not creating something from nothing. You are tuning yourself to the frequency where it already is. Imagination is the only redemptive power. If you would build an empire, you must learn to live in imagination more than you live in the five senses. Feel the reality of your empire before one stone is laid. See the crowds, feel the honor, know the abundance, walk in the peace. Let it be so alive in you that the world must yield to it. Let no contradiction in the outer cause you to abandon the truth you've conceived within. Beholders, you may be tempted to shrink, to go back to the old way of thinking, the safe way. But safety is the enemy of expansion. You were not born for survival, you were born for dominion. You are not born to react, you are born to create. Every time you choose imagination over circumstance, you reaffirm your divinity. Every time you feel from the end, you ascend to your true place of power. Do not worry if no one sees what you see. They will, in time. For as you persist, the unseen becomes seen. That which is real in the world of spirit will harden into form. And then the same people who doubted will ask how it happened. They will call you lucky. They will say you were in the right place at the right time. But you will know you were in the right state at the right time. The world is only the mirror. You do not chase the empire. You become the one who already owns it. You do not run after opportunity. You dwell in the state where opportunity seeks you out. All things move to support the man or woman who knows who they are. Your job is not to force. Your job is to assume the state and remain loyal to it. That loyalty is your power. When you wake in the morning, do not simply rise, assume. When you step out into the day, do not simply move, command. Let every step carry the weight of your vision. Let your body become the vessel of your assumption. This is not performance. This is embodiment. It is not about pretending. It is about being. You are not acting to deceive. You are acting to declare. What you see now may be small, but do not despise small beginnings. Even an empire begins with a thought, a single seed, a single act of faith. Do not say it is too late or it is too big. Time is irrelevant to the one who lives in the eternal now. The moment you enter the state, the thing is done. The moment you dwell in the end, the means begin to arrange themselves. Leave the how to the wisdom of the unseen. For your job is to stay in the state. You may feel resistance. Good. That is proof that something is shifting. That is the fire in which the old self is being dissolved. Let it burn. Let the doubt come, but do not dwell in it. Return, always return to the state of the wish fulfilled. That is your home now. That is your holy ground. Even when nothing appears to be happening, something is. The law does not fail. Consciousness is always being made manifest. The question is never, will it happen? The question is always, am I in the state? For the state is the cause and the world is the effect. It is not ambition that builds the empire. It is assumption. You may have the best strategy, the finest connections, the strongest will. But if your inner man is still seeing himself as small, then all effort is vain. But if your inner eye is filled with the vision of greatness, then the outer must catch up. Live as if, speak as if, decide as if, feel as if. This is not some surface trick. This is the secret of creation. The world was formed by words, and you are made in the image of that creative power. Your word is not idle. Your thought is not meaningless. Every feeling you dwell in is a prophecy of what is to come. Choose wisely. There is no power outside of you deciding your fate. That is the great illusion. You are not waiting for permission. You are not hoping for luck. You are not seeking validation. You are the one who says, it is so. And the universe must echo, Amen. You do not need more effort. You need more awareness. You do not need more time. You need more alignment. You do not need more help. You need to help yourself by assuming the identity of the one who already has it. That identity is not something you earn. It is something you choose. And once you have chosen, persist. Let no outer storm shake your inner peace. Let no contradiction pull you from your throne. When the world says no, let your assumption say yes. When the world shows lack, let your inner vision show abundance. When the world delays, let your faith declare it done. No one is listening to you. You are not here to reflect the world. You are here to reshape it. You are not here to repeat old stories. You are here to write new ones. Let your mind become the sanctuary of your vision. Let your heart become the throne of your desire. Let your speech become the sound of fulfillment. And above all, feel it really. Every day, feel it as though it were already done. Carry the mood of victory. Rest in the knowing of completion. Celebrate the unseen, for the one who celebrates before it arrives hastens its arrival. The one who assumes without doubt accelerates the path. The world belongs to those who dare to imagine boldly and persist faithfully. If you are building an empire, then carry yourself as its builder. Think from its heights. Feel from its riches. Move with its grace. And know with absolute inner calm that what you have imagined is already yours, because you have accepted it, you have claimed it, you have become it. And the world has no choice but to obey. Remain in the state. Let that be your highest discipline. No matter what the world presents, no matter the delays, the silence, the contradictions, remain. For it is in the persistence that the unseen begins to take shape. The lazy mind will retreat to facts. The trained mind lives from vision. This is your training now, not to react, but to remain. Not to plead, but to possess. You are the creator of it. You know you believe in love in the first place? Will you step back into the familiar identity of limitation, or will you remain loyal to the unseen empire you are building within? That choice will shape every conversation, every decision, every movement you make. The outer world is clay and you are the potter, but the hands that mold it are invisible. They are your assumptions, your inner talks, your feelings, your state. Speak from the mountain, not from the valley. Do not describe your life as it appears. Declare it as it truly is, in your inner knowing. When you see lack, affirm abundance. When you face resistance, affirm ease. When fear whispers, speak back with authority. The empire is not just a structure. It is a vibration, a dominion, a confidence so deeply anchored that nothing in the world can shake it. This is why you must be still and know. Not know intellectually, know in being. There is a stillness in the one who walks in the end, a calm in the one who has seen the victory and feels no need to explain, no need to convince, no need to strive. That is the stillness of dominion. That is the poise of the true creator. Act from that, live from that. When you act as if, you are not pretending, you are assuming your true identity. The world may not recognize you immediately. It may push back. Let it. That is not your concern. Your only concern is the alignment of your inner state. Are you thinking from the end? Are you speaking from fulfillment? Are you walking in the energy of the one who has already received? That is the only measure that matters. You cannot build a palace from the consciousness of a beggar. You cannot rule a kingdom from the identity of a servant. You must rise into the state, and then let every thought, every movement, every expression proceed from that altitude. When you feel the temptation to fall back, to shrink, to apologize for your greatness, reject it. That is the echo of the old self, the self that no longer governs your reality. Do not wait for signs. You are the sign. Do not wait for permission. You are the authority. What you decree within yourself will shape what you encounter outside yourself. The world responds to conviction, not to hoping. It bends to the inner tone of one who knows. When you walk as if it is already done, the universe rushes to confirm it. Let your mornings begin with gratitude for what is already yours in spirit, not for what might come, but for what already is. Gratitude is not just a polite gesture, it is a declaration of possession. It says, I have received, and that statement alone rearranges reality. Do not beg the world for evidence. Thank the unseen for fulfillment. That is the posture of one who builds an empire in consciousness. Your assumptions are the law. Your inner world is the cause. The world you touch and see is not your master. It is your mirror. And a mirror can only reflect what is placed before it. If you show it doubt, it gives you delay. If you show it fear, it gives you struggle. If you show it the face of completion, it will begin to conform. You may not know the means, you may not know the timeline, but you do not need to. You need only to remain faithful to the end. The means are secondary, the how is handled by the law. Your only duty is to feel it real, now, and to never step outside that state. And when your mind tries to wander, gently bring it back. When fear knocks, answer with the voice of fulfillment. When the old thoughts come, let them pass. They are not your truth. They are echoes, and you have moved beyond them. You are not your past, not your doubts, not your memories of failure. You are your vision, your assumption, your present embodiment of what is already yours. Even now, your world is changing. Perhaps not where the eye can see, but deep in the unseen, everything is moving into place. Every assumption you persist in is a command. Every vision you return to is a seed watered. Keep watering, keep tending. Let no wind or storm pull you from the garden you've planted. There is no magic greater than belief, no power stronger than assumption. To act as if is to create from the Spirit. It is to see with the eye of God. You are not small. You are not powerless. You are not a victim. You are the dreamer of the world, and what you consent to imagine as real must become real. For you can hold the end in mind, feel its emotion, live in its atmosphere, then everything between now and that fulfillment is only scenery. It is not your concern. The empire you see within will call forth the necessary means. The right people, the right doors, the right words, all will arise in harmony with your state. Let your body feel what the future already holds. Let your breath match the rhythm of your fulfilled desire. Let your words flow from the seat of your victory. This is how you draw it near, by refusing to be outside it. You are not reaching for it. You are dwelling in it. The one who walks in fulfillment is not hurried. They are not desperate. They are not concerned with competition. They know what is theirs cannot be taken, and what they have assumed is on its way, because it must be. Law does not break. It does not discriminate. It simply fulfills the state. And so, remain in the state, no matter what, even when nothing changes, even when things appear to worsen. These are the final tests, the shadows before the dawn. The one who persists through them gains everything. Feel it more deeply in those moments. Affirm it more boldly, and the veil will lift. This is not about convincing others. It is about convincing yourself. When your inner conviction becomes unshakable, the outer must bow. This is law. This is truth. Let every cell in your body respond to that knowing. Walk taller. Breathe fuller. Speak slower. The one who has already received is never in a rush. You do not need to prove anything. Your being is the proof. Your vibration is the evidence. The world will catch up. Do not judge the harvest by the first sprouts. Do not curse the process before it completes. Every masterpiece takes time, but the blueprint is already alive within you. It is written on your heart, engraved in your imagination. And that which you continue to see, you will soon hold. This empire is not only wealth or fame or power. It is dominion over self. It is mastery of thought, of speech, of imagination. It is peace that does not depend on conditions. It is joy without cause. It is love that cannot be moved. Build from there. Rule from there. And if ever you fall, rise again. If ever you forget, remember. If ever you doubt, choose faith. Not blind belief, but knowing born of vision. This is your inheritance. This is your identity. You are not becoming the builder, you are the builder. You are not waiting for the moment, you are the moment. Now walk as one who rules, sit as one who knows, dream as one who creates. Let your entire being carry the weight of your vision. You are not here to survive, you are here to reign. You are not here to imitate, you are here to originate. The empire has already begun. It begins in thought, it is sustained by feeling, and it is made visible through assumption. Stay loyal to it. Let nothing dissuade you. Let no fact override your knowing. Assume the end, persist, and the end will assume you. You must become unmoved in a world full of motion. Let others waver, doubt, and debate. Let others chase what they believe is outside of them. You remain. Let them speak of odds and statistics, of markets and trends, but you remain centered in your knowing. There is no outer evidence stronger than inner conviction. The moment you stop looking for signs and start becoming the sign, the entire structure of your world begins to shift. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are doing the most sacred act of creation. You are stepping out of time. You are no longer reacting to what is, but declaring what is to be. The one who builds from imagination does not ask, is it realistic? They ask, is it real within me? And if it is, then it must come to pass. It is already done. It is already finished. The rest is simply alignment and unfolding. You were never meant to live in reaction. You were never meant to be at the mercy of facts. You are meant to create facts. Your state of being determines what facts appear in your life. So ask yourself not what is happening around you, but what you are accepting within. Are you walking in the end? Are you living from fulfillment? Are you embodying your empire before the bricks are even laid? It is not arrogance to live this way. It is truth. For truth does not need approval. Truth does not shrink to fit opinion. It stands quietly, powerfully, and draws all things to itself. So live from the truth of your vision. Let your actions flow from that vision. Not to prove anything, not to manipulate, but because it is already so. When you know the outcome, you walk differently. You speak differently. You move through life with a quiet fire. This fire is not loud. It does not boast. It does not try to convince. It simply is. And when you walk with that flame burning in your chest, the world takes notice. It may not say so immediately, but it responds. The law of assumption is not delayed, it is precise. Your outer world is always catching up to your inner stance. So stand firm. Your mind will offer you every excuse to doubt. It will present every old memory, every failed attempt, every reason why you should play small. Do not argue. Simply return. Return to the state. Return to the end. Let the noise fade and the vision take over. You do not need to explain your process. You only need to feel the end so completely that it becomes your atmosphere. Every time you persist, you are chiseling away the false image of limitation. Every time you refuse to yield to appearances, you are reaffirming your power. This is not a game of chance. It is a path of mastery, and mastery comes through repetition, through discipline, through the unwavering decision to dwell in the reality you have chosen. Let your inner conversations be sacred. Let them be deliberate. Let them match the tone of the one who has already received. You are not preparing to be, you are. That shift changes everything. You are not wishing, not hoping, not striving. You are resting in the knowing. You are breathing as one who has inherited the kingdom. You are acting not to gain, but because you have already gained. That's subtle change. From seeking to being is the hinge on which all transformation swings. And though the world may take time to catch up, time itself becomes your servant when you live in the end. What once seemed far begins to draw near. What once looked impossible begins to organize itself around you. Not through effort, but through alignment. Not through pressure, but through assumption. You are not required to figure out every detail. You are required to remain in the state. The details are not your work. They are the work of the unseen forces responding to the tone of your inner world. You are the sender, reality is the receiver. But the message must be clear. It must be consistent. You cannot send one signal in the morning and a different one at night and expect harmony. Choose the frequency of fulfillment and stay there. Your thoughts are prayers. Your feelings are commands. Your assumptions are laws. There is no neutral moment. You are always creating, always broadcasting, always shaping. So do it consciously. Do it deliberately. Do it with the weight and joy of someone who understands that reality is malleable and that imagination is the tool of God within. When you speak, speak as the one who knows. When you move, move as the one who possesses. When you imagine, do not ask, declare, and when you doubt, do not condemn yourself, simply shift. Shift back into the end, back into the knowing, back into the feeling of completion. It is not about never wavering. It is about returning faster, returning with more power each time. And as you continue to return, something within you changes. You begin to identify not with the desire, but with the fulfillment. You no longer see yourself as the one hoping, but as the one who already is. That shift collapses time. It lifts you above circumstance. It opens doors that effort alone could never open. You are not building an empire brick by brick. You are building it thought by thought, feeling by feeling, assumption by assumption. Each moment you live in the end, another piece falls into place. Not because you forced it, but because you became it, because you assumed it, because you dared to declare, "This is who I am now." And the law, faithful and exact, echoes back, "Yes, you are." So now, walk forth, not as one who waits, but as one who knows. Let your very presence affirm the reality of your unseen empire. Let your silence speak louder than words, your stillness carry the weight of kingdoms. You need not convince anyone, you need only become. For when you live from the end rushes to meet you. All things align, all pieces move, all reality bends, because you have assumed your throne. You are not preparing to reign, you are reigning now.
As we embark on this journey together, I ask you to cast aside all notions of limitation, all beliefs of scarcity, and all fears that have held you in their grip. For in this moment, and in every moment hereafter, you possess the divine ability to compress eternity into the present instant. You are, in essence, the master of time itself. Consider, if you will, the nature of time. What is it truly? Is it the relentless ticking of the clock, the steady march of seconds, minutes, and hours? Or is it something far more fluid, far more malleable than we have been led to believe? I tell you now with absolute certainty that time is nothing more than a construct of consciousness, a canvas upon which we paint the masterpiece of our lives. When you act as if you have no time left, you are not surrendering to a finite existence. Rather, you are claiming your birthright as an infinite being, capable of transcending the illusion of linear time. You are stepping into the eternal now, where all possibilities exist simultaneously, where your deepest desires are already fulfilled. Let us pause for a moment and truly contemplate this idea. Close your eyes, if you will, and imagine that this very instant is all you have. Feel the weight of that realization settle upon you. Now ask yourself, if this were truly my last moment, what would I do? How would I feel? What truths would I speak? What love would I express? As you sit there, eyes closed, fully immersed in the reality of this eternal now, you are tapping into the infinite power of your imagination. You are, at this very moment, breaking free from the shackles of past regrets and future anxieties. For what is imagination if not the very substance of eternity, the evidence of reality is not yet seen in the world of Caesar? Now open your eyes and look around you. The world may appear unchanged, but I assure you, a profound shift has occurred within you. You have, for a brief moment, lived in the compression of time. You have experienced the intensity and clarity that comes when we shed the illusion of endless tomorrows. But let us not be content with mere glimpses of this timeless state. The art of acting as if you have no time left requires consistent practice, unwavering focus, and a willingness to live with an intensity that may at first seem overwhelming. It demands that you maintain the urgency of your last moment, not just in quiet contemplation, but in every waking instant of your day. Imagine, if you will, a man who truly understands that his time is limited. He does not procrastinate. He does not waste precious moments on trivial matters. He speaks his truth boldly, loves deeply, creates passionately. How does this man carry himself? How does he interact with others? How does he approach his goals and dreams? This man, my friends, moves through the world with a sense of purpose that is palpable. He doesn't wait for the right time to pursue his passions. He understands that now is the only time there is. He doesn't hold back his love or his forgiveness, for he knows that each interaction could be his last. He creates with abandon, pouring his entire being into his work, for he understands that his creations are his legacy. This man is not living in fear of death. On the contrary, he is more alive than ever before. By embracing the finite nature of his physical existence, he has tapped into the infinite nature of his consciousness. He has compressed eternity into each moment, and in doing so, he has discovered the secret to truly living. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, if I act as if I have no time left, won't I become anxious or desperate? Won't I neglect my responsibilities in a mad rush to live life to the fullest? These are natural concerns, born from a misunderstanding of what it truly means to live as if you have no time left. You see, acting as if you have no time left is not about frantically trying to cram a lifetime of experiences into each day. It's not about neglecting your duties or living recklessly. It's about bringing a new level of awareness, of presence to each moment of your life. It's about recognizing the preciousness of time and using it wisely in alignment with your highest purpose. When you truly embody this state of timelessness, you find that you naturally prioritize what's truly important. You stop putting off your dreams for some mythical future date. You cease engaging in petty conflicts or holding on to grudges. You begin to live from your highest self, expressing your divine nature in each thought, word, and deed. Consider the words of Scripture. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. This is not a command to achieve some impossible standard of behavior. It is an invitation to recognize your true nature, your oneness with the divine. When you act as if you have no time left, you are claiming this divine perfection in the eternal now. But how, you may ask, does one begin this practice? How does one act as if they have no time left in a world that seems designed to distract and delay? The answer, my dear friends, lies in the power of your wonderful human imagination. Your imagination is the very bridge between time and eternity, the tool by which you can collapse life into moments. Begin by selecting a scene, a short, simple scene that embodies the life you would live if you truly had no time left. Perhaps it's a scene of you boldly declaring your love to someone you've admired from afar. Maybe it's the feeling of satisfaction as you put the final touches on your life's work. Or it could be the peace you feel as you forgive someone who has wronged you, knowing that life is too short for resentment. Now, enter that scene in your imagination. Do not merely visualize it as if watching a movie. Step into it. Be the protagonist in this drama of your creation. Feel the urgency, the clarity, the aliveness that comes with knowing this could be your final act. Make it as real and as vivid as you possibly can. And most importantly, feel the emotion, the intensity, the passion, the love that this compressed moment brings you. Repeat this imaginal act night after night, day after day. Let it be the last thing you experience before drifting off to sleep, and the first thing you return to upon waking. Live in this state as often as you can, for in doing so, you are collapsing time. You are acting as if you have no time left. As you persist in this practice, you will begin to notice profound shifts in your outer world. You may find yourself naturally taking bold actions that you previously would have postponed. You may notice a new depth in your relationships as you express your true feelings without hesitation. You may discover wells of creativity and productivity that you never knew you possessed. These changes, my friends, are not coincidences. They are the natural result of your shift in consciousness. They are the physical manifestation of your new understanding of time and your place within it. Do not question them. Do not doubt them. Simply accept them with gratitude, knowing that they are confirmation of the truth you have accepted in your imagination. But what of those moments when the old habits of procrastination and delay creep back in? What of those times when the world of Caesar seems to demand that you put off your dreams, that you wait for a bees? This, beloved, is where your resolve is tested and strengthened. Remember, the outer world is a shadow, a reflection of past states of consciousness. It takes time for this shadow to fully align with your new state of being. During this period of transition, you must stand firm in your conviction. You must persist in your assumption that now is the only time you have to. When you feel yourself slipping back into old patterns, do not fight it. Do not resist it. Simply observe it, acknowledge it, and then gently return to the feeling of timeless urgency. Remind yourself that your imagination is the reality and that the word of Caesar must conform to it in due time. For it is written, the vision has its own appointed hour, it ripens, it will flower. If it be long, then wait, for it is sure, and it will not be late. As you continue to act as if you have no time left, you will find that your entire being begins to shift. Your thoughts naturally align with purposeful action. Your words carry the weight of truth and immediacy. Your actions spring from a place of clarity and conviction. You no longer wait for the perfect moment. You create perfection in each moment. This, my dear friends, is the art and science of living in the eternal now. It is the method by which you can transcend the limitations of linear time and step into the fullness of your divine nature. It is not a denial of death, but a profound affirmation of life. It is the practical application of the eternal power that resides within you, the power that is your divine birthright. As we delve deeper into this practice, let us consider the nature of reality itself. In the world of Caesar, reality appears fixed and unyielding, a solid construct that we must navigate with caution. But in the realm of imagination, in the kingdom of God within you, reality is fluid. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously, and you have the power to select the reality you wish to experience. When you act as if you have no time left, You are essentially stepping out of the illusion of fixed reality and into the fluid reality of imagination. You are selecting from the infinite possibilities that exist, the reality that aligns with your highest self. And as you dwell in that reality in your imagination, compressing eternity into each moment, you draw it into your physical experience. Consider the words of Scripture. In the twinkling of an eye, we shall all be changed. This is not a prophecy about some future event. It is a profound truth about the nature of consciousness. In the instant that you shift your awareness, in the moment that you decide to live, as if you have no time left, you are changed. And as you change, the world around you must change to reflect your new state of being. But my beloved listeners, I must caution you. This power is not to be used frivolously or for the harm of others. For in harming others, you only harm yourself. Remember, in the timeless reality of your true self, there is no other. We are all one, all expressions of the same divine consciousness. Therefore, use this power wisely for the betterment of all. As you practice acting as if you have no time left, you may find that your priorities begin to shift. What once seemed important may lose its urgency. What you thought you wanted may pale in comparison to the deep callings of your soul that now demand expression. This is natural and beautiful. It is a sign of your expanding consciousness, your growing awareness of what truly matters in the eternal now. Embrace these shifts. Allow your imagination to soar beyond the confines of your current desires. For in truth, the ultimate aim of this practice is not merely to accomplish more in less time, but to fully realize your oneness with the divine. It is to know beyond all doubt that you are an eternal being having a temporary human experience, that you are limitless, that you are, in essence, God expressing itself as you. Now, let us address a question that may have arisen in your minds. If I am to act as if I have no time left, does this mean I should abandon all long-term planning? Should I disregard the future entirely? The answer, my friends, is both yes and no. You see, abandoning long-term planning in the conventional sense is not the same as acting as if you have no time left. To truly embody this state requires a shift in consciousness so profound that your relationship with the future itself is transformed. You do not ignore the future, you bring it into the present through the power of your imagination. Imagine, if you will, a great artist working on their masterpiece. They do not fret about whether they will finish the work. They do not constantly check the clock or worry about running out of work time. They are fully immersed in the act of creation, bringing their entire being into each brushstroke. Yet, at the same time, they hold the vision of the completed work in their imagination. This is how you must approach your life when you act as if you have no time left. You bring the full force of your being into each moment while simultaneously holding the vision of your fulfilled desires in your imagination. You do not work towards your goals. You live from the state of their fulfillment now. As you practice this, you will find that your relationship with time itself begins to change. What once felt like a limited resource to be carefully rationed now becomes an abundant wellspring of possibility. For you understand that in the eternal now, there is time for everything that truly matters. But remember, my dear friends, this is not about cramming more activities into each day. It is about bringing more life into each moment. It is about understanding that the fullness of existence is available to you here and now, if only you have the courage to claim it. Now, let us delve deeper into the practical aspects of this practice. How does one maintain this state of timeless urgency throughout the day, amidst the demands and distractions of daily life? The key lies in cultivating a new habit of thought, a new way of perceiving and interacting with the world around you. Begin each day by immersing yourself in the feeling of timelessness. Before you open your eyes in the morning, spend a few moments in the eternal now, feeling the urgency and aliveness that comes from knowing this day could be your last. Let this feeling permeate your entire being so that you carry it with you as you rise and begin your day. As you go about your daily activities, continuously remind yourself of the preciousness of each moment. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, if this were my last day on earth, what would I choose? This simple question can shift your perspective dramatically, allowing you to approach situations from a place of clarity and purpose, rather than habit or fear. Practice gratitude for each moment, not from a place of scarcity, but from a place of abundance. Be thankful not for what you hope to experience in the future, but for what you are experiencing now. This attitude of gratitude aligns you with the frequency of the eternal now, drawing more reasons to be grateful into your life. Watch your words carefully, for they are powerful creators. Speak as if each word could be your last. Eliminate phrases of postponement or delay from your vocabulary. Instead of saying, I'll do it tomorrow, say, I choose to do this now. Instead of saying, I'm waiting for the right time, say, now is the right thing. Choose them as if they were your last. In your interactions with others, bring a new level of presence and authenticity. Listen as if it were the last time you would hear their voice. Speak your truth as if it were your final opportunity to do so. Love as if this moment were all you had. For in truth, this moment is all you ever have. When you find yourself slipping back into old patterns of procrastination or delay, do not berate yourself. Simply observe it, acknowledge it, and gently guide your consciousness back to the state of timeless urgency. Remember, this is a practice. Like any skill, it takes time and patience to master. Be kind to yourself as you learn and grow. As you persist in this practice, you will begin to notice a profound shift in your perception of the world. What once seemed like obstacles become opportunities for growth and expression. What once caused you anxiety is now met with calm resolve. You will find yourself naturally taking inspired action, effortlessly moving towards the realization of your deepest desires. But here, my beloved listeners, is where many stumble. As they begin to see the fruits of their new state of consciousness manifesting in the physical world, they become excited and impatient. They start to wonder how much time it will take for their desires to fully manifest. They look for signs and try to figure out the how and when of their manifestations. In doing so, they slip out of the timeless now and back into the linear thinking of past and future. This is a crucial point in your journey. When you begin to see your life transforming, when you notice the world rearranging itself to accommodate your new reality, you must hold steady in your assumption. Do not be moved by appearances. Do not try to figure out how or when your desire will manifest. Simply continue to live from the state of timeless urgency, knowing with unshakable faith that what you have imagined must come to pass. Remember the words of Scripture. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, your faith. Your absolute knowing that now is the only time there is the very substance that brings your desires into physical manifestation. It is the evidence of the unseen reality that exists in your imagination. As you continue to act as if you have no time left, you may find that your relationship with desire itself begins to change. You may discover that the joy you sought in the fulfillment of your desires was available to you all along. For in truth, the state of timeless urgency is not about frantically chasing after experiences. It is a state of consciousness, a way of being in the world. When you truly embody this state, you realize that there is nothing to seek, nothing to strive for. Everything you could ever want or need is available to you now, waiting to be expressed. This realization brings a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. You no longer postpone your joy, for you know that joy is the very essence of your being, available in each eternal moment. This, my dear friends, is the ultimate freedom. It is the state of being that all spiritual teachings point towards. It is the kingdom of heaven that is within you. When you act as if you have no time left, you are claiming your rightful place in this kingdom. You are acknowledging your oneness with the divine, your role as a co-creator of reality. But let us be clear, this state of consciousness does not mean that you become reckless or irresponsible. On the contrary, when you act as if you have no time left, you become more responsible, more intentional in your choices. You become acutely aware of the impact of your thoughts, words, and actions. You understand that each moment is an opportunity to express your highest self, to contribute to the world in a meaningful way. As we near the end of our time together, I want to address a question that may have arisen in your minds. If I am to act as if I have no time left, does this mean I should never rest or take time for self-care? The answer, my beloved, is that rest and self-care take on a new meaning when you live from this state of consciousness. You see, when you act as if you have no time left, your rest becomes more restful, your self-care more nurturing. For you understand the preciousness of these moments. You don't rest out of exhaustion or escape, but out of a deep honoring of your being. You don't engage in self-care out of obligation or fear, but out of love for the divine expression that you are. In this state, you may find that you accomplish more than you ever thought possible, yet with less struggle and strain. For you are no longer pushing against the current of life, but flowing with it. You are no longer trying to make things happen in some imagined future, but allowing them to unfold naturally in the eternal now. And so, my dear friends, as we conclude this exploration of acting as if you have no time left, I urge you to take this practice into your daily life. Begin now in this very moment to live from the state of timeless urgency. Feel the aliveness, the clarity, the love that comes from knowing that now is all you have. Remember, this is not about living in fear of death. It is about embracing the fullness of life. It is about aligning yourself with the deepest truth of your being. It is about claiming your divine inheritance as an eternal being expressing itself in time. As you leave this place and return to your daily lives, Carry with you the knowledge that now is the only time there is. Let it inform your thoughts, your words, your actions. Let it transform your perception of the world and your place in it. For in truth, you are not separate from the world. You are the world, experiencing itself through your unique perspective. Act as if you have no time left, and watch as your life takes on a new depth and richness. Live from the eternal now, and see how your path unfolds before you with grace and ease. Be the person who compresses eternity into each moment, and discover that you have always been that person, waiting to be acknowledged and expressed. Go forth, my beloved, and create the life you desire. For you are the operant power. You are the divine made flesh. You are the creator of your reality. Everything you could ever want or need is available to you now. Claim it, live it, and always remember the world is yourself pushed out. As you transform your inner world, your outer world must follow. This is the law. This is the promise. This is the truth that sets you free. In closing, I leave you with this thought. Each breath you take is both your first and your last. Each moment is a beginning and an ending. In this paradox lies the secret of eternal life. For when you fully embrace the finite nature of your physical existence, you tap into the infinite nature of your consciousness. Live as if you have no time left, and you will discover that you have all the time in the world. For in the eternal now, time ceases to be a limitation and becomes a canvas for your creative expression. Thank you, my dear friends, for your attention and your willingness to explore these profound truths. May you go forth in the knowing that you are loved, that you are powerful beyond measure, and that now is the only time there is. For you are, in truth, the eternal expressed in time. God bless you all.